Welcome back, students. In the previous class, we learned the basic rules of ray diagrams, also two important cases of concave mirrors. So let me revise those. First one, object at infinity, and second one, object is at beyond c. Beyond c, right? So today we'll complete the remaining important cases. So let me ask some quick questions. Which mirror First question, which mirror can form real and virtual images? It has a capacity to form both real and virtual images. The mirror is concave mirror. Keep that in mind. Which mirror can form both real and virtual images? Real and virtual, both. Where does a ray parallel to the principal axis meet after reflection? If a ray passes parallel to the principal axis, after reflection, it passes through the focus, principal focus. Here, image formed by an object beyond C is the image characteristics. In the beyond C section, what happens is after the image gets formed, we got real, inverted, and diminished images formed, right? If you want a clear ray diagram and everything, watch before class. Okay, so I'll continue. Okay, let's move on to case number 3. So after beyond C, we have to put the object is exactly at center of curvature. Okay, let's see. Third situation, the object is at center C, at C, center of curvature. Let's draw a concave mirror here. Okay, and let's draw an imaginary line. That line is called principal axis. Midpoint will consider as P for pole, F for focus, and C for center of curvature. Now the object is situated exactly at C. Exactly at C. So first situation, when a light ray passes parallel to the principal axis, let's say, after reflection, it passes through the focus and goes straight, right? And second ray, when a light ray passes through the focus, so this is the focus. After reflection, it passes and meets at one point over here, which is exactly below C, right? Which means, coming to the characteristics, object is at center. This is the object. Where is the object here? This is the object, right? Above the principal axis is object. Below the principal axis is image. Image is also at C. Object at C and image at C. What about the size? Size is same size. Same size of the image is formed. Okay. What about the type of image? The type of image is always same. The type of image that is formed is real inverted. Real and inverted image is formed. Yes. Okay. Let's say if the object is 5 centimeters, what about the image size? Image size is also 5 centimeters because same size image is formed, right? Right. Let's move on to case number 4. Right. Now the object is in between C and F. Where is the object now? Object is at C and F. Okay, let's draw an imaginary line again. Okay. Let's mark the points P, focus, and center of curvature. Now the object is in between C and F. Let's consider a parallel line that passes through the parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, it passes through the focus. First situation. Second situation, when a light ray passes through the focus, let's say like this. After reflection, it passes parallel and meet at one point here, that too beyond C. Now look, object is at between C and F. What about the image? Image is at beyond C. Eక్కడ ఉందండి image? It is at beyond C. Now, what about the size of the image? Size is a little bit enlarged, right? Size is enlarged. We tend to find a magnified image, bigger image. So that's why bigger is considered enlarged or magnified. You may write both, anything. Type is same always, VLID inverted. Clear? So let's move on to case number 5. Now, the object is at focus now. So look it carefully. Object is at focus. Imaginary line, principal axis, pole, focus and center of curvature. Now the object is exactly situated at the focus. After reflection, it passes through the focus. Now, if you draw a line from the center of curvature, it touches the head of the object and touches the mirror. After touching it, what happens is it comes back to the same medium without any reflection. Yes or no? So, center of curvature. We tend to find those two lines are parallel. Yes or no? So, these two lines are parallel means the object is not going to meet. But when you saw a railway track or something, if you put your head or something, if you put your head over here, you see these two lines, they both meet at one point at somewhere around, somewhere, right? You just imagine like this, which means these two parallel rays going to meet at somewhere, and that point will consider as infinity. Which point? Infinity. At infinity, these two points get meet, right? So this is the place where the image is situated. What about the object? Object is exactly situated at focus. It is already clear. So object is situated at focus. Image is situated at infinity. Size is highly magnified or highly enlarged. And what about the type of image? The type of image is same, real and inverted. Let's look into the last and final situation. The situation is in between F and P. So let's draw the diagram very neatly. Concave mirror and an imaginary line. Let's mark the points P, F and C. Very good. So this time the object is exactly situated in between F and P. Yeah. In the first situation, the object is not going to meet somewhere, right? So let's take the point like when the object is at pole, it passes through the same other medium with the same angle of incidence and same angle of reflection. So the last and final situation we come across here is when the light ray passes through the center of curvature when it touches the head. But if you find these two lines never meet, yes or no? So these two lines looks like they are diverging away. They never meet. And before, when the object is at focus, we find those two lines are parallel. Right? We have a chance that they can meet somewhere at infinity. But this time, these two rays never meet. They are diverging away through different directions. So for this type, we have to extend it a little bit backward. We have to extend this also a little bit back, and it looks like they are going to meet at one point over here, and we'll get our image, right? So look it carefully. This is the object, and this is the image. Where is the object? Object is in between F and P. What about the image? Image is behind the mirror. So you have to write like this, behind the mirror, because the image is inside the mirror, right? So this cannot be catched on the screen. Behind the mirror. What about the size? Size is again enlarged. And finally, the type of images. Up to now we have written real and inverted, but this time the image that is formed is not a real and inverted, it is virtual, because the rays were not really met. We have to extend them backward to meet the image, right? So the image is virtual and erect image is formed here. Yes. So this is the final situation. Yes. For this reason, exactly at this situation, right? These concave mirrors are used as shaving mirrors and dentist mirrors because they produce magnified images, right? Which means when the object is very close to the mirror, we tend to find a magnified and erect image, right? So this situation is used for shaving mirrors and dentist mirrors, right? Okay. So most importantly, you have to make all these things in a particular table. Okay, let's draw the table. So let's start with the first situation. Let's say O for object. I'll make a shortcut of it. I for image, size, and type of image. Right. Let's start with situation number one. Object is at infinity. The image we get exactly at focus, and the size of the image is point size. Which size? Point size, and the type is real and inverted. Yes. So these tables are very important because they might ask these tables for 4 mark questions, right? And also 1 marks and 2 marks also. You have to remember the object positions, image positions, and the type of image that is formed, right? Sometimes they are not going to ask type. They say nature of the image, both are same. Nature of the images, type of image, both are same. Okay, let's say second situation, it is at beyond C. Where is it? Beyond C. So we got the image exactly between C and F. What about the size? Size is little bit smaller and real and inverted same kind. So next situation, when the object is at C, image at CC. Here the size is same, real and inverted again. So coming to the next situation, it is in between C and F. Between C and F. It is beyond C. Size is enlarged. Again real and inverted. Next at F. Your image is at infinity. Highly enlarged. Real and inverted again. If you observe it carefully, it starts with the focus. Focus. Infinity here, right? So object place focus, image place infinity. Object plus infinity, image plus focus, right? Here object plus between C and F, image plus beyond C. Object plus beyond C, image plus between C and F, right? So it's an easy trick to remember, right? But the size is a little bit vary. You need to remember it, everything carefully, right? Up to these five cases, everything is clear. C, object is at C, image at C, same size and real and inverted. Real and inverted is same for all these cases. But coming to the final situation, what has happened here is we have placed the object exactly in between. Where is the object now? Object is in between F and P. Right? We have placed the object is in between F and P. Right? Very close to the mirror this time. This time we don't get a real and inverted image. We get virtual and erect image. Which kind it is? Virtual and erect image is formed. Yes? Okay. What about the size? Size is enlarged again. So we could place here enlarged. But image is not, it is not going to be formed on the screen. This time the image that we have formed is behind the mirror, which means inside the mirror, behind the mirror, right? So these are all the situations you have to remember, and everything is most important for examination purpose. So compulsory 4 mark questions. Maybe ray diagrams may come. If ray diagrams might come, also these table might be given. So 8 marks you will get it, right? So we have an activity. So let me explain the activity now. So for this case, we're going to prepare some cards. Let's say we have to prepare the card like object at infinity, object at C, object is at beyond C, object is in between C and F, object at focus, object is in between F and P, right? So we have to prepare cards. Now I'm going to ask the students to match the image position, nature type of image, and also the size of the image, right? It's a simple activity, and also I'll do a short video of this clear activity, right? We'll discuss about this later. So next, finally, let's learn some questions, important exam questions. Where is the image formed when an object is placed exactly at C? If the object is at C, image is also at C. Right, okay. Next question. Which position of image gives the magnified and real image? Magnified and real image. We got when the object is in between C and F. When does a concave mirror form a virtual image? When the object is in between F and P. What happens when an object is placed at focus? What happens when an object is placed at focus? The image is at infinity, right? Next. So coming to the 2 mark important questions. Explain the image formed when the object is placed between C and F. Explain the image formed when the object is placed between C and F. When the object is placed between C and F, we got an image that forms beyond C. Image that forms beyond C. And coming to the nature, it is enlarged image and real and inverted image is formed. Real and inverted. Clear? Okay. Next question. Why is concave mirror used as shaving mirror? when your face is placed between focus and pole, because the pole is placed here and the focus here. So when you are standing between these two, focus and pole, it produces an enlarged, which means your height becomes increases, enlarged and erect virtual image, right? So that it will be so easy to shave, because a bigger image is formed for you. For that purpose, concave mirror is used as shaving mirror. Clear? So that's it about today. But tomorrow, it's the most important class for tomorrow. We are going to deal with mirror formula, numericals, and sign conventions, everything we are going to discuss in tomorrow section, right? Okay.